The 1700s were a time of fighting around the world. European countries wanted to control land everywhere, and India, with its riches and important location, became a big part of this fight. The Third Carnatic War, from 1757 to 1763, was a major part of this struggle between the British and French East India Companies. By 1760, things were getting serious. The French, who were winning at first under Dupleix, had started losing. The British, led by the tough Sir Eyre Coot, were starting to win. Both sides knew that one big win would decide the war. This important battle would happen on the flatland of Wandiwash, a small town south of Madras, in January 1760. A lot was at stake. If the French won, they could get back on top and control the valuable trade routes. If the British won, they could crush the French and become the most powerful force in South India. Everything was ready for a battle that would change the future of empires. The morning of January 22nd, 1760, was hot and humid in Wandiwash. The French army, led by the Comte de Lally, a good but impatient soldier, was ready to fight. Across from them were the British troops, led by the careful and determined Sir Eyre Coot. The battle began loudly as French cannons started firing, but Coot had planned for this and placed his own cannons to fire back. The British guns fired back just as hard, and soon the battlefield was filled with smoke and the loud boom of cannons. While the cannons fired, Lally, thinking his cavalry was better, ordered them to attack the British side. But the French horsemen ran into organized musket fire from the British infantry and sepoy troops. The attack failed, and the French cavalry was forced to retreat in a mess. When the French cavalry lost at Wandiwash, the battle changed. Coot saw his chance and ordered his whole army to attack. The British infantry, feeling strong after beating the French cavalry, charged forward with their bayonets. The French, feeling down after their cavalry lost, fought bravely but were beaten by the British attack. Lally knew he was losing and told his army to retreat. The retreat quickly became a chaotic run, with the British chasing them. Wandiwash was a big win for the British. This victory had big effects. The French were forced back to their main base at Pondicherry, which the British quickly surrounded. Even though they fought hard, Pondicherry, with no supplies or help coming, had to surrender to Coot in January 1761. The French loss at Wandiwash and the fall of Pondicherry wasn't just one thing. Many problems caused their defeat, showing how military plans, supply problems, and the bigger world situation all mattered. One big problem was the French leaders' bad decisions. Lally, though a brave soldier, made quick and sometimes bad choices. Attacking the British at Wandiwash and leaving his own supplies unprotected was a big mistake. The French also had supply problems. The French East India Company, having money troubles and bad management, couldn't give its army enough supplies or new soldiers. This hurt them a lot against the British. The Battle of Wandiwash wasn't just a battle. It changed European control of India forever. It ended France's hopes of a big empire in India and helped the British take over. The Treaty of Paris in 1763, which officially ended the 7 Years' War, showed this change in power. France could keep a few small trading posts in India, but they were no longer a major power there. The dream of a French India, which leaders like Dupleix wanted, was over. Wandiwash shows how quickly things can change when countries fight for power. It shows how important good leaders, strong supplies, and smart plans are for a country's success. Section 6. A new power ascendant. The rise of the British East India Company. With the French out of the way, the British East India Company was in a great spot. Without a strong European rival, the company, with its powerful army and navy, started taking over more land. From Madras, Bombay and Calcutta, the company slowly took control of large parts of India. Using talking, tricks and fighting, the company defeated local rulers and took control of India. After Wandiwash, the British East India Company changed from a trading company to the real ruler of India. Important people like Robert Clive and Warren Hastings appeared during this time. They would have a big impact on British India. Section 7. The Treaty of Paris, redrawing the map of empire. The Treaty of Paris in 1763, which officially ended the 7 Years' War, was very important for India's future. The treaty between Britain, France and Spain said that Britain now controlled the land it had taken in India, making them the main power there. France could keep a few trading posts, but they couldn't build forts or have soldiers there. This ended their dreams of military power in India. The treaty changed how Britain and France interacted in India, ending their fight for control. The Treaty of Paris was a huge moment in European colonialism. It showed the end of French power in India and set the stage for British rule, which would last for 200 years. Section 8. A moment of significance: Wandiwash in historical perspective. The Battle of Wandiwash, though not as famous as other 1700s battles, is still very important in world history. It reminds us how connected things were around the world during the age of empires. The battle also shows how important leaders and their choices are in changing history. The different ways Coot and Lally led their armies were very important for who won the battle and what happened to French hopes in India. Wandiwash also teaches us about the dangers of wanting too much land. France losing shows how important good supplies, smart plans, and knowing the local area are for success in taking over other countries. Section 9. Echoes of Empire: the enduring legacy of colonial conflict. We still see the effects of colonial battles like Wandiwash today. The good and bad things left behind by colonialism are still part of how societies, governments, and economies work in many countries, including India. The battle reminds us that empires cost lives. The fighting in Wandiwash killed many people, both European and Indian. It shows us that it is important to solve problems peacefully and to talk and understand each other in international relations. When we think about the past, we should learn from it and try to build a future where talking and working together replace fighting and taking over. The Battle of Wandiwash, though a long time ago, teaches us important things for today, reminding us that fighting is costly and that finding peaceful solutions to world problems is important.